I would assume that many of you guys in my audience are married or at least in a relationship. And when I say relationship, I'm talking about man and woman, not rake and shovel. Graduates of Woke U, they like to refer to a relationship between a man and a woman as a traditional relationship or outdated. Us normal people, we prefer to keep it that way. You had this relationship. You've been together. Let's say you've been together for 7 years. This is the point in most marriages, most relationships, where it possibly begins to reach its breaking point. They call it the 7-year itch. You're starting to have problems. Small issues are becoming huge problems. Perhaps one person is checking out. They no longer want to deal with it. Something as small as not emptying the dishwasher erupts into a screaming match with your wife or girlfriend. You're tired of being tense. You're tired of being uncomfortable at home. You want to go back to the happy, fulfilling relationship that you used to have. You just don't know how to make it happen. You come to the realization that you need help. So who do you call? Well, KC, it's obvious. You reach out to your family. You confide in them about your problems. Yeah. If you want to see the end of your marriage, confide in your family about your relationship problems. Families are well-meaning. They have good intentions, but once you get them involved, you can never go back. They only make things worse. Maybe you talk with your friends or colleagues at work about it, but like members of your family, they're not trained to deal with the problem. They don't know the dynamics of your relationship. They're only hearing one side of the story. Most people who want to save their marriage, they reach out to trained professionals to help them deal with their issues. Whether that be their pastor or an experienced counselor. Not a counselor from Woke U. They're only trained to assist people who are in a relationship with garden tools. It's really easy to solve relationship problems when the shovel doesn't talk back. The point is, when you're faced with problems in your life that you can't solve on your own, whether it's involving a relationship or something at your house that you can't fix, you reach out to an expert for assistance. Someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about. Woke shitfucks, they pretend we have a gun problem in this country. People are not properly using guns. They're using them for self-defense. They're using them to shoot people. I learned at Woke U, you should only use a gun during a round of butt bongo. The mainstream media likes to claim that we have a crisis with guns. In the name of public safety, we need guns off the street. We need stricter gun laws. In their minds, this is a real problem. But unlike normal people who consult with experts, we consult with trained professionals when we have a problem. Members of Woke United Methodist, they prefer to consult with dumbasses. Have any of you guys ever heard of Liam Hendriks? I'm sure some of my Major League Baseball lovers have heard of him before. I had never heard of him until yesterday. Liam Hendriks is a reliever for the Chicago White Sox. He's a two-time All-Star who was born in Australia. According to the woke media in Chicago, Liam Hendriks is also an expert on gun control because for some reason, they asked him for the solution. There was a mass shooting outside of Chicago on July 4th. I believe it was in the suburb of Highland Park. The White Sox played a game the next day, and after the game, Liam Hendriks was being interviewed by the media. They didn't ask him about their game against the Twins. They didn't ask him how the White Sox find themselves in third place in what's arguably the worst division in Major League Baseball. The media asked Liam Hendriks how to solve this mythical gun problem we have in America. And ooh, he was full of great ideas. This man right here, he's the modern day Confucius. That Liam, he's a deep thinker. Listen to this shining example of eloquence for yourself. Roll the film.
I think the access to the weaponry that is being kind of used in these things is that something needs to change. Something needs to be done. Something needs to happen because there's way too many people losing their lives. And it's not only about the people that lose their lives, the families of that. It's the tragic that goes throughout the entire community when people are concerned about leaving the house, concerned about doing the day-to-day things of going to work or any number of these things. I think we really need to reflect on what's going on. I don't think enough is being done. And I think there's two sides, and the two sides need to meet somewhere in the middle and figure this out because too many people are dying, and it's no excuse to be like, oh, on this side or that side. That's no excuse. At some point, things need to get done, or else, I mean, I mean, it's getting to the point where civilization, as you know it, may be ending just due to the fact that there's two drastically different sides. Something needs to change. Something needs to happen. It needs to happen quick.
Wow! He is obviously a fresh graduate of Woke U. That was some good bullshit. I did some research. Liam Hendriks recently graduated from Woke U. He majored in promotion of propaganda with a minor in diatribes of a dumbass. Did I just hear him say that we're facing the threat to the end of civilization because of gun violence and mass shootings? Did I just hear him say that? This shitfuck is pretending that we have an epidemic in this country when it comes to gun violence. Out of curiosity, I went to the CDC website to check the leading causes of death in America. Car accidents rank number 3. Should we make driving illegal? I know global warming pussies would love to get rid of cars, but the rest of us don't believe the myth. Deaths caused by gun violence didn't even rank in the top 10. In 2020, 45,000 people were killed by guns. That is well below 1% of the overall population. Of that 45,000, over half of those deaths were self-inflicted. I have another question. How come the mainstream media isn't asking for Liam Hendriks' input on gun violence every day? Every weekend, 60, 70, 80, 100 people are killed in Chicago from gun violence. How come the media only talks about gun violence when there's a mass shooting? In most cases, a mass shooting involving white victims. How come they don't talk about the black on black gun violence in Chicago? I thought the media was all about diversity and inclusion. I thought Major League Baseball was about helping black people. I mean, they moved the All-Star game out of Atlanta last year in the name of fighting for minority voting rights. How come we don't see this same energy with gun violence in urban communities? Strange. The Confucius of Major League Baseball, he wasn't done. The media asked him for solutions, and he delivered. Oh, he came up with some great bullshit. Listen to Liam Hendriks' solution to the mythical gun problem. Roll the film.
Baffling to me, obviously, coming over, that's what America is known for. The kind of, they're known as the superior, like there's a lot of things that are good over here, but you look at the negatives and it's just the complete kind of, like you can get, I can walk into a store as a non-American and buy a handgun in certain states, and that baffles me because it takes longer. I had to take a driving test when I was over here. I won't have to take a test if I want to get a gun. That's stupid. Whoever thought that was a great idea is an idiot. But other than that, it's something there's a lot that goes on. But obviously, we as an Australian, we dealt with it as a country back in the day when it was we had a mass shooting, and when that mass shooting happened, the government came in and was like, "Yeah, we can't do this. We're going to do a buyback program, and so we're going to buy back guns for a fair price and do all this." And all of a sudden, our suicide rates dropped drastically. Our gun-related homicides dropped infinitely. And it's something that has pretty much kept on. Like, you can get access to guns in Australia. You can go through gun clubs. You can go through these things. But there's a lot more stipulations on it, and protection isn't a good enough reason to get a gun.
He claims globally, America is known for guns. I'm okay with that. Actually, I am more than okay with that. You know what that means? America is known for freedom. We have the freedom in this country to protect ourselves from people trying to fuck with us. I have read a lot about World War II. There's an old theory that one of the reasons that the Japanese decided to bomb Pearl Harbor instead of coming onshore and attacking us, they knew we had an armed population. They knew private citizens were armed. The Second Amendment was not established to protect us from foreign enemies. The Second Amendment was established to protect us from an overbearing government, kind of similar to the government that we see in Washington today. Liam Hendriks points to the fact that you have to pass a driver's test to obtain a driver's license, but some states don't require background checks for guns. Do I even need to sit here and explain the stupidity in this? These are two separate issues that have nothing to do with each other. You know why you pass tests to obtain a driver's license? Well, for one, we need to make sure you know how to drive. But two, we need to make sure you're not fucking blind. Does passing a driver's test ensure that you can safely drive a car? No. I see accidents on the interstate every day. Does passing the test prevent me from driving my car straight into a grocery store? No. Will universal background checks prevent criminals from having access to guns? No. The best part of this propaganda soliloquy from Liam Hendriks was the part about Australia's strict gun laws reducing gun violence. This is a fucking myth. Back in 1996, there was a mass shooting in Australia. After the shooting, the government decided they needed to take action. We must take guns off the street so we can have complete control over the peasants. It worked too. Go ask Australians about life during the COVID. The government had complete and total control of the population just like they wanted. But claiming the 1996 gun legislation in Australia reduced gun violence, that is 100% bullshit. For one, gun violence has been on the decline here in America, Western Europe, and Canada since the early 90s. Guess where else it was declining before stricter gun laws were implemented? Australia. Number two, gun violence was already extremely rare in Australia before they implemented strict gun laws. There was absolutely no need for the legislation. The only purpose for it was to remove guns from law-abiding citizens so the government could control the population when they needed to. Mass shootings are rare. That's why it's national news when they happen, because it rarely happens. Major League Baseball has the same problem the NBA had 2 years ago. A lot of these baseball players are out of touch with their fan base. They're not relatable. What the hell does Liam Hendriks know about the efficiency of gun control? As you just saw, obviously, he knows nothing. Why talk about something you know nothing about? If you feel safer in Australia because of their gun laws, what the hell are you doing here in America? I'm sure they have professional baseball in Australia. Go play down there. Liam Hendriks claims that personal safety is no excuse, no reason to own a gun. It's the only reason to own a gun. My gun is not a decorative piece sitting on my nightstand. It's not a fashion accessory. It serves one purpose and one purpose only: protection. If an armed criminal breaks into my house, I don't want to rely on hopes and dreams to protect me. What am I supposed to do? Call the woke hotline? Someone's breaking into my house. What should I do? Oh, don't worry. We can de-escalate the situation by talking to the robber. Get him to open up about his turbulent childhood and share a nice woke hug with him. Let me know what you think. Liam Hendriks, giving us the solution to the mythical gun violence epidemic in America. Should we have the same laws they have in Australia, or should we tell the government to stay the fuck out of our business? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.